Hey, what's up everyone? Today we are looking at the Jada Toys Ultra Street Fighter 2 Player 2 Fei Long action figure. Now, this release was a WonderCon exclusive, but if you didn't attend WonderCon, you can still order this on the Jada Next Level website, which is the same site they would have their San Diego Comic-Con exclusives. So, let's take a look at the packaging here. So it is a lot different because they usually do these with their exclusive figures. This is like a slipcover, but you can see we do get the artwork of Fei Long, the logo, Fei Long's name here, and then the Jada Next Level logo, and then the Jada logo up there. Here is the top of the packaging. We just get the logo, and then here's the bottom right there. Here's this side. We get an artwork of Fei Long and then the logo again. I've never actually seen this artwork before, Fei Long, so this is like my very first time actually seeing this. But we get that, and it's also the same on this side. And then the back, we get the artwork and then the logo again, but you know, we get a background here, which is pretty much the stage for Fei Long. And just like these, like I mentioned, this is a slipcover, so once you remove that, you do get the figure right here. And this is pretty nice. Get a nice open window of the figure, all the accessories included here. Here is the top of the packaging. We do get a top window that is continuing from the front, and then not much at the bottom. The side we've already went through, and it's the same on the other side. But here's the back of the packaging. Image of the figure right there, logo again, and then we get the full roster here at the bottom. Okay, so here's the figure out of the packaging right here. So just like how I usually always review the Player 2 versions, these won't really be much of like a full review, as these are pretty much just a repaint of the original figures. So I technically already reviewed this figure, but I am just going to show off the new things about this release. So the biggest thing that you can pretty much see is the pants. The pants is purple. This time, there's a few things a little bit different in terms of the paint compared to the Player 1 version, but for the most part, it is still the exact same figure, same articulation, you know, all that, but it does have new accessories, of course. But as of right now, it is pretty good. This is actually poses a lot better than my Player 1 version. Now, granted, my Player 1 Fei Long is like the very first release. I know, like, when they got the new factory, they some people were saying they were like a lot better in some ways, but I got the very first release, so maybe that one's a little bit similar to this one, but this one does pose a lot better. And Fei Long, let me actually bring this over, but out of all of the Jada Toys Street Fighter figures, Fei Long was still always my favorite one. I just feel like he posed a lot better, and I would say that I pose him a lot more than everyone else, honestly. Like, I really do love their Fei Long figures. So yeah, I really like this figure a lot, and I like how this one does pose a lot better. Like for this one, I couldn't really move the ab crunch anymore. Like, I don't know what's going on with that joint. I can't move it any more than that. But this one right here, look at that. It's nice. See, no problems. Really, really good, right? This one, not so much. And then you can hear the plastic too. Yeah, just I can't get a good crunch forward with that. But this one, no problems there. See? So yeah, I was having trouble, and I can't even do full splits with him either. There's something going on. But this one, like, no problem. The joints are really, really smooth on this guy, which I really do like. You know, like, it's a nice figure. I love Fei Long so much, man. I love the figure. But yeah, so far, this guy does pose so much better than my Player 1 version. So that's great. I love that he came out pretty good. So here's a closer look at the head sculpt right here. This is actually the same head sculpt from Player 1, but it is actually painted a lot better. So let me bring in the Player 1 version right here. But you can see that the paint on this one does seem to look a lot better, and I've noticed that the skin tone is a little bit lighter too. It still has shading around the body, but it looks like the shading here is a little bit lighter compared to the Player 1 version right here. And I also noticed that the hair seems a bit shinier too than this one. I do prefer this one though, and it still has the dry brushing around the hair still. And then, like I mentioned, you know, you got the different colors with the pants. They still got the details for the wrinkles around, and The shoes are the same too, but the paint is a lot cleaner on this one. They still got the peg holes at the bottom of the feet. And then here's the back right here. Okay, now for the accessories. So this is the head sculpt and then the two fisted hands that will already be onto the figure. The other interchangeable head sculpts you get here is, this first one is the one that's already on player 1 of Fei Long. So this is like a reused head sculpt. But the new one is an open mouth expression and it's pretty nice. This one came out pretty good. I actually like this one more than the other ones actually. So this is actually pretty nice too. We get more interchangeable hands. One of them is a reuse from the player 1. But these extra 2 pairs, I want to say these are new too. So we get like an open hand and then you know, like a gripping hand, and I want to say these are new too, and they came out pretty good too. We get the nunchucks, which is nice. This is probably my favorite one in this set, and these are actually really good. Like, it has a real chain to it. Like, it came out pretty good. I really like the way these nunchucks came out. And then the last accessory is another reuse. This is like the flaming effect piece for Fei Long's kick. Yeah, that is all of the accessories there for Fei Long. So yeah, really good spread. You know, they like to throw in a lot of these extras for like these next level stuff. So I'm very pleased with the amount of accessories we get here for this guy. Alright, now getting into some comparisons. Here he is next to player 2 Ryu and Chun-Li. And then here's the other player 2 versions. So we got Ken and M. Bison. Okay, so final thoughts on the Jada Toys Ultra Street Fighter 2 Player 2 Fei Long figure. Not a lot to say about this one since it is just a simple repaint with added accessories, but it is still a very strong release. The figure can still pose really well, especially compared to my Player 1 figure. I like the extra accessories, especially the nunchucks. Like, Jada Toys does a really good job with their exclusives. This is exactly how you should do it. It's a figure that you don't necessarily need, but just something to add to your collection of your choice. Doesn't take a slot from the main wave, which is fine. So yeah, I personally like it, but let me know what are your thoughts on this in the comments down below. Again, if you want to pick this up, this is available on the Jada Next Level website. As always, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the review, but until then, take care, my friends.
Story Select.